Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps SRE DevSecOps coach. I have close to 18 plus years of experience working in multiple MNCs around the globe and having in-depth knowledge of DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. So I would like to introduce you one certification program in a DevOps, and that is we call it DevOps Certified Professional. Now this is a 2 months of program, 25 tools of DevOps you will learn, and apart from that you will also get the access to the LMS, lifetime access to the videos portal. It's a certification program, and you will have 25 assignments and 2 projects along with it. It's a completely weekend program, so here you have classes on Saturday and Sunday. So as part of this course, you will learn multiple things. Here you see that you will learn Linux, AWS, Docker, Jira, Confluence, Python, Git with GitHub, SonarQube, Maven, Gradle, Packer, Artifactory, Selenium, JMeter, Ansible, Kubernetes, Helm, Terraform, Jenkins, Datadog, Splunk, and Neuralink. Now, how do we, apply for this? So how can you reach out to us? So you have a WhatsApp number and email ID. So please reach out to us, and we'll help you to onboard this program. Apart from this DevOps certified professional programs, we are offering other certifications as well in a DevSecOps, SRE, and one of the very comprehensive programs which we have is in Master in DevOps Engineering. Yeah, so feel free to get in touch with us and then enroll for it. Thank you. Okay, so the first question is, what is Python? So we all know that this question, Python is a programming language, correct? Now, why language we use it? Why language? We have a, so some of you may be knowing Hindi, English, of course, everyone, and then maybe Tamil, Telugu, Kannada. So language we use for communications between the individuals. Like I can express something in certain language, certain ways, and you will also understand that language. So language is a basically medium. It's a sound between the human, actually. It's a medium. Whatever I say, you understand that. So same way, I want to talk to machine. Okay, so human wants to talk to human, then we use all these languages which you know. But human wants to talk to machines, and so for that also we need language, right? So human understand the language which we which you know that I'm not going to tell you, but machine understand only the binary language. Okay, binary language. So that's a limitation. Okay, so human understand something which this is a human language. What is it's English, right? So we understand this, but machine don't understand this language. WHYLANG, and this question mark is not understood by machine. They only understand binary language. Binary language means, can you simplify this one? Binary language means zero and one. You know that. I'm not teaching you something great. You know that already. So machine human language need to convert it to machine language. Okay, binary language. Okay, and again binary language converted to the human language. For that we have certain ways, actually certain ways to in the world of compute, and that is what we do the language. So certain way we write it. Okay, so certain way we write it and then convert it to binary language, the same writing, and binary language understand that and machine understand that and respond it in binary. Again binary to convert into this one human language. We have this. So this we call it two things. We have a one thing which called compiler concept, and another one is interpreter. Okay, interpreter, just interpreter is like when Prime Minister of India Modi is meeting with in the president of China. So there has you might have noticed actually, or Russian president, they have an interpreter, right? So in between there'll be two person will be sitting and converting Hindi to Chinese, Chinese to Hindi, something like that. So it's like this interpreter. So compiler, so what is a compiler? So compiler, we have this source code, human code, I'll put it in very simple way, human code to convert to binary code. Okay, that is the job of compiler. Now interpreter again do the binary code, received that from that, and then you have a human, I mean from machine you get a response, and then you get the human, basically it's both way, human human binary code interpreted to the machine and machine to human, so something like that. So compiler you have an interpreter inbuilt. So when it's a compiler, okay, compiler you have a interpreted inbuilt. Sorry, my bad, compiler plus interpreter, so you have a separate one. But nowadays which we have a interpreted only. So here we have uh, compiler also and interpreter. Maybe I'm confusing you here. So in this case when you say compiler, compiler means it can compile to human code to binary code, and interpreted is separate. Mind it here, I made a mistake here. Interpreted are separate. In this interpreted, compiler and interpreted is together. Okay, so when I say compiled language, the language which you can compile first and then interpret, run. So we have a Java, uh, .NET, C++, all these are compiled language. Okay. Now interpreted language where you have a compiler and interpreted together, we have a Python, Perl, uh, PHP. These all are interpreted language. So in simple way, Python, Perl, and PHP, and few more. So these are the interpreted language. That means whatever the code you write in whatever the language human write, you don't need to compile it, automatically it will get compiled while running it. That's the interpreter means. In this compile language you have to compile first manually and then run it that's called interpreting, and then machine understand and then give you the response. So here Java, you remember that if you have studied Java, you first compile using javec, you get a class file, and then class file you run it using Java command, and then it's get interpreted. And here it's a interpreted language where compilation and interpreting happening together at once. So Python plus Perl plus PHP and few more are interpreted language. Are you understanding, all of you? Yes. Okay, now here we should talk about talk about version of PHP, version, sorry, Python, version of Python. So here we have a two version, V2 and V3. In this session we are using V3. So V2 was used primarily for, primarily for, not for software development, system programming or network programming. Okay, primarily used for system programming and network programming, network. Uh, Now, when I say system means automations and all, system work, not for software development, very least for software development. V3 is used for everything, for everything. System programming, network programming, website development, software development, for everything. Now there's a lots of differences between the V2 and V3. It's not a it's like just extension or new release or something. I mean next release or something. It's a completely new release. V3 has a lots of features. Version 3 has a lots of features compared to Python 2. Python 2 got deprecated. Now we are using Python 3. Many systems, but if you see many Linux box, you will see the Python 2 is installed actually. So that is all about the Python version. Now Python is open source, Python is free. Python programming language you can run with any operating system like Windows, Linux, Mac, wherever, whatever it is. So those are the typical information. Now how to install it? Okay, how to install it? If you go to Python website, Python download, okay, and here you have a different download. You see that here, this is a exe file. Because I'm accessing from Windows, you got the exe file. If you access from Mac or Linux, you will get it accordingly. By the way, in Linux, you have a Python 3 already installed or Python 2 already it will be installed actually. So it's a coming default as part of every Linux. And in Windows, you have to install it. So just download this exe 3.11.3 and then you can get it installed. Now I have already run this in my laptop. So I'll go and directly validate it. So cmd, and if you type Python and here version, and here, what is this? Sorry. Python version is a 3.11, 3.110, which is the last month version. So that's okay. So yeah, you can install it. Now, as I said, Linux you have already, so you don't need to install Linux. But if it is missing, then Linux you have here. You see that this part. Linux. Okay. Now, if you don't want to download in Linux using tarball and set up path and all, so you know that there's one command called yum install Python 3 and apt get install Python 3. You can also search my DevOps school and you have a commands for that, and here it is installing Python on Linux, CentOS, Ubuntu and all, and here see, this is for Ubuntu, this is for CentOS, you can use it. Yeah. So far so good. All of you are comfortable? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, next thing is editor. Okay, so what is editor? So editor is basically which will help you to write a Python program easy way and then compile it, interpret it, and all stuff like that. So I use Notepad++, but you can use any editor like Visual Studio Code, Notepad, or any editor. There's no specification for it. But Python community have developed one editor. I must tell you, if you are really dedicated to Python, if you love this, though most of the people are looking for this one Visual Studio Code nowadays, but there's one editor which is called PyCharm. Here it is. This is the one. So PyCharm, here you can install it, and this will be a good editor. You can see Python ID for professional developers download. So you can download it and install it, and you'll see something like this. Okay, though I don't use it, but for demo and all, yeah, just for showing purpose, I have it. So here you can create a projects and write your code and all, and easy way. Okay, so that is something which you can do that. Now the next question which we have is how to learn Python programming. Okay, Python programming, that is something which I'm going to show you. That's important. So first thing guys, it's a pattern actually, not only for Python, any languages you want to learn, you have to start with some questions. What are the questions? Let me ask a question. First thing, how to store, that is a how to store Python code. How to run, okay. After that, what are the types of variable we have? Variable, when you have a variable, then you have operators, also types of operators, correct. Then once you have a types of operators, then you will have conditioning also, conditioning statement, conditioning. Once you have a conditioning, you have a looping also, correct, no? And once you get the loop done, then you will have to discuss about the function. This function, and this is the foundation of any courses, any Python, any languages for the case. So any languages you read, try to get into this format, you will love it. Now function is done. After that, oops concept is coming. Write a program in with the oops concept. So how to write a class, how to write a class and stuff like that. Here, how to do file handling. Okay, so these are the some of the stuff you should target it, and then you are good with programming language. Are you understanding? All of you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. So guys, let's go one by one and then get it done. So let me create one directory here. This is the Python, okay, py. And now the question is how to store the file. So any file you store, the file name can be anything but ending with py. So here there's a file name, let's say one. It can be anything, okay, and then py. That's all. Py is the extension. You run it. Now you want to run it through the editor or you want to run it through the command line. It's okay. But how to run it? That's a second question. So open up the command line. It can be any terminal as such, and then type and Python and one.py. And here you see I run it. It was empty file, so no error, nothing has happened. So these two questions is done, how to store and how to run. Okay, now I will have some hello world program written, some print uh, written. So copy paste I would like to do from here because writing will be so much of time consuming. So I have created a Python tutorial, so you can go for this complete. These all are tutorials only, but I want to go to one page which is called Python complete reference. Okay, this tutorial you should remember that Python complete tutorial. This is recording, so you will have it. Okay, so now here you see introduction. If you want theoretical stuff, here lots of things you have, how Python works, virtual machines and all stuff like that. But I will just get started with this one. So copy paste that all this code, it's easy for me. And here I'm going to use this one.py. Done. Okay, so now this is the hello program. So what exactly you have? If you notice this, this is the starting with hash. So this starting with hash, which will tell you these are the single comments. That means if you are asking, hey, how to comment out the lines in the Python, you have answer starting with hash. Now this is not a comment, mind it. The whenever you start hash and exclamation, that means you are telling, okay, this is the Python code. So you run, let's say sometime you don't run with the Python. So if you're running with the Python, then you're telling this code is Python. But sometime you don't run with the Python, something like that you run in a Linux. In Windows it's not detected, but in Linux you run it like this. So that way you are telling, oh hey, this is the Python code, use the Python interpreter for the same case. So this line you will see in the shell scripting also, and this file you will see many places also, and so on. So yeah, this is the things. Are you understanding, all of you, this line? So this is to notify the interpreter. This is the Python script or bash script, or it can be any other also Perl also. Are you understanding? Hello.
yeah, right.
Okay. Now, if you see that this one carefully, okay. So here, what is this? So this is in Python. You can run in the multi-line command. Look at this multi-line command. So if you don't want to put this hash value again and again, irritating, right? So if you want to put that multi-line command. Now this is a basically is a way to run in Linux. So you have to give the permission, execute permission, and then finally dot you can run it. This will work in the Linux, okay, but in Windows this is not required. This is just instruction, and this is the things what you are doing here. You're echoing something. In every language we have a echo, like Linux we have print, Python we have print, Linux you have echo also, by the way, and print lane you have in Java also, C out we have C++ also. So this is function actually, okay, and this function required the string. That's the reason it's in double quote. So you can print anything and display on the screen. So this print will display on the screen. So now if I run it, python 1.py. See that hello Python. So guys, did you understand this, all of you? All of you? Hello?
Yeah, Rajesh. We understand.
Nice. Okay. So now types of variable. Next thing after running the program. Okay. What are the types of variable? So first thing you should ask, why variable we use in every programming language? In any programming language you go, Java, C++, Python, Perl, PHP, you have variable. Shell scripting also have variable. I think I did discuss about this. So why we have a variable? So variable, is easy way to store the value and avoiding the hard coding in the code. Simple. Okay, not too much complications. Variable is easy way to store the value. For example, you have a name Rajesh. So Rajesh is a value, name is variable. Let's say Rajesh, if you want to use 10 times in the program, so you hard code Rajesh, Rajesh, Rajesh everywhere. That's a bad programming practices. Instead of you declare at one somewhere and then use dollar name, dollar name, dollar name, automatically it will interpolate. So if you want to change next time, you just change the variable and everything else places will be stored automatically. Correct now? All of you? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's focus on the variables. So this slides will help me a little bit of it. So see, in we call it data types. Okay, so these are the data types we have in Python. And numeric dictionary, numeric, again we have an integer, float, complex number, dictionary, boolean. Set we have again sequence type, we have seen string, tuple, list. So these are the types of variable. If you put it in this way, immutable, mutable. Immutable means data types Python where the value assigned to variable cannot be changed while running the program. Where is mutable, which you can change it. So data types in Python where the value assigned to variable can be changed here. So mutable data type. Okay, so mutable you have a list, dictionary, and sets. Immutable data types you have numbers, string, and tuples. You know what? You will be asked multiple questions in the interview for this one only. This is the important questions in the interview, like which are the type is mutable, which are the type is immutable, what is the meaning of mutable, what is the meaning of immutable. And they will tell you, hey, this I have a list, these are the list, and I want to there's a they'll tell you there's a string and I want to change the value assigned to it, and how can I do that? So it's a trap. Okay, in the interview it's a trap. The moment they said a string, it's on immutable, right? But they're asking you to change it, so you have to be little careful, so you have to focus on this a little bit more. Okay, so here I have written one very good blog. In fact, I spent whole day for this, so you can spend Python list and list sets dictionary. So this, just hold on. So here uh, so many blog actually, just a second. So this is the one. So tutorial Python, difference between list and array, tuple, set, and dictionary. 5 things has been defined. So spend time at least. Let me tell you, be serious, because in every question, every interview, they'll ask you the question in terms of Python related to this one only. You have to be masters in it. So here in this table, I have spent a lot of time to put it up all this thing, and you have to hard code your mind with this stuff. Else you'll have a problem in the interview. Are you understanding, all of you? Yes. Okay, so now also many people categorize the data types in two section, which is called primitive and non-primitive. Primitive means which has come from the legacy Python. Non-primitive which got added from the two onwards. So in one they added integer, string, boolean, and float, but two onwards they added multiple extra also: list, array, files, tuples, and set. This is the complete list of it. Okay, so now if you see that, how do we define it? So this one slide is giving you lots of information, and you look at it very carefully. So numbers you can define. Again, there's numbers can be multiple times, like a float, double, and also. So here you can define in this 1, 2, 3, 4, and second one is a float. And here you have then complex, decimal, fraction, all this thing you have. If you look at the string, put it in a single quote or double quote, it's okay, and see that very carefully. Now if you see the list you have in the curly braces, sorry, what is this called, square bracket. List you have in the square bracket. Okay, so if you see that, if you carefully see that, there is a list inside a list. If you look at this, the second element, which is of index number 1, which has a list itself in nature, 2 and 3, and dictionary always which you have in curly braces, and dictionary format is key value, key value, key value, separated by comma. Tuples you have in the parenthesis. What is this called? Square bracket, curly braces, parenthesis, correct? Yeah, parenthesis. So you see that you have a parenthesis, and if you see that in tuple, the tuple values, data type can be different one. Okay, data type can be different one. So that is a stuff, like one is a number, another one is string. So see that here. Now files, here you have, I'll show you that demo. Some sets you have in this way. Okay, and other types also. So you have to understand how do we represent these data types, and then you have to use it. Now in Java and C++, when you declare the data type, I mean variables, then you have to incorporate the types also. What types of data types it is, whether it's integer and string. This is called strong type database, a data language, strongly typed language. But Python is loosely coupled language. That means you don't need to define the type of data variable. Automatically it will know that. So that is some loosely coupled. So here if you see that here, strong type language versus weak type language. Okay, so if you see that here, I'll just go to some image. See here, I think this is your complete things, you get it. Okay, different way to present. Okay, so so many images are there. Okay, so I think this one is little better. Here we have some language which even I don't know. Magic, Haskell, F star. I don't know actually. Closer, Erlang. I have heard about it, but I don't know. And this is good. This all of us we know that. So here, this is a and loose. And there is one concept called loosely typed language. There is a one image. See, so this is just for the knowledge purpose. You can keep it. Not necessarily you have to do that. Okay, so how do you represent the numbers in Python? So you see that here, integer, float 1.5, complex you have here, and so now this page, if you see that integer and float, this is you have represented. So here answer is equal to 42. It's an integer. This is the float, and here you answer plus py, you are getting this. Don't worry about the conversion, automatically Python will take care. If you want to specify some variable, that type, you can put it in this way: int pi is 3. So here int means that number 1.14 you cannot put it up, and float answer, so you have to. So if you want to specify, you can use this way also. Okay, so now I'm going to discuss about all these types of variables. So let's discuss. So come back to my this tutorial, and here these are the tutorials. So here we understand the variable types. Now let's look at one by one other stuff. So number. Okay, so I'm going to use this. How can you use it? I'm showing you here. So if you see that here, this is a comment, this is also comment, this is also comment. Okay, now I'll uncomment this in order to run. Okay, so here you see x is integer, y is also integer, z is also integer, and if you see that, you are printing, so nothing great about it. See, so this is the way you define float. How do you define? So delete this line, here it is. So this is the way you can define the float. Now let's do this string. So here you have a string, and copying and pasting. Now you see that this is the string. Look at it very carefully. This is a single string. Okay, and what you are doing here, printing s. But if you look at this, len is the one which is incorporated here also. So len is a function, built-in function in Python. I'll talk about it, built-in function. So len is a function which will help you to find the string length. What is a string length? So the output will be 34 as per this one. Now here if you see, there's one more string with a single quote, and here you are using one more function to replace world with universe. So y is equal to world universe, hello universe, it will be there. Here you are having one more function, one more string. Look at this, and here you are using one more function. Okay, split function. So here you are saying, hey, this is my string, and split this string and convert into the list. Okay, split will convert the string into the list. Remember, the square bracket is a list, but separated delimiter, separated by comma. So here red, green, blue and yellow will become a element of this list, which you got n, and then you are printing n, and then here you are printing the first element. Are you understanding, all of you? Hello, hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're audible.
Okay, so let me run this and then clear the screen. Python, see here. So this is the things. Now let me show you one example for list. Okay, so list, and here look at this. Here this is the list. Now if you see that this is the list, and here you know that list, you have a representation of indexing. So here this is 0 index, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this you are printing first one, which is red, second one which is green, second one, so 0, 1, 2, which is blue. So here you are printing, this is the way you can represent the list, and this is the way each element you can print it. Now if you see that there is one list, and here you are printing in the range. So if you want to print in the range 2 to 5, that means index number 2 to 5. So 0, 1, 2. So C 3, 4, 5. So here up to this one is printing. Look at this. Here again 0 index to 2 index. So you are printing this one. Now this is interesting, and this is called negative index. Okay, so what is a negative index? First, let's understand through um, this slide. Okay, look at these slides, all of you. Okay, so here there is one string, I mean there is a one list which is called have five element PROBE. So P, which is index 0, then R1 and E4, but if you convert into the negative index for the same, if you want to find out, then P0 will become a -5 because you have a 5 element length of this list is 5, so you have a 5 elements, so it's a negative, this is called negative index. So here if you see that this way, starting with the 3 means 0 1 2 3. Okay, so 3 means start with the D and give me -1, so here total is 5. So here this is -6, this is -6. Just a second, hold on. 1 to 3. So here this is -1 -2. So -1 you have it. So that's the reason D and E you have printed actually. So this is the way you can use sometime negative index also. So here this is called slicing method. Okay, now changing element of list. Okay, so here look at this. Uh, Here you have a three elements, red, green and blue, and here 0 orange. That means you are changing the first element. Okay, and then you will see that print n, and you'll see orange, green, blue, and here negative index you can change it here also. Now if you want to add the new element for the list, then you have to use the function called append. Okay, so if you are changing existing element, then you can use this way. If you are adding a new element to the list, you can do this way. Append function you can use it. So let's try now. Here you see here red blue CDE, and here you are adding the fourth element here, last one, red, green, yellow, blue. Are you understanding this, all of you? All of you? Okay, now let's try the dictionary. Okay, so dictionary, let's look at this one example for this here. So dictionary always in the curly braces, and key and value format. So now name is a key, age is a key, job is a key, value, value, value. Now if you want to print one keys, then you have to use print, which is a function D, which is the name of dictionary, and key. If you specify the key, you will get the value printed. Now if you want to add a key value to dictionary, then you have to add it like this. So here you have a E, one more dictionary, and here you are adding one more keys and value. So you can add it E set is equal to this one, and automatically adding a key value. Now you can print whole city, a whole dictionary key and value like this. Okay, so let me run this. See that here. So this is the way you can represent the dictionary in that. Now I would like to also help you to understand there are some constants in Python, and there's some keyword which is reserved actually. So if you look at this here, multiple constants you can use it. For example, if you want to set some constant, so you have to use in, look at this, you have to use in a capital variable. So carefully if you look at this here, pi is a constant you declare, gravity is a constant you declare in the Python program, and then that you can use it just like this. So if it is an constant, you have to specify constant.pi, constant.gravity. Now the advantage of is constant is a type of variable which value cannot be changed. That means you cannot change the values. The constants are written in all capital letters, which you see that here, and underscore separating the words. It can be underscore separating the words also. In reality, we don't use constant in Python. The global and constants module is used throughout the Python program. So this is the way we can use this module, import constant, then only you can use this one. Otherwise, if you try this code without importing this one, then it will be a problem. Okay, so this is also, you should check it out, constants. Let me close few pages. Okay, so now keywords which is reserved in Python, which you cannot use for declaring the variable, which are this. Okay, so you cannot define the variables using this reserved keyword. Okay, it's false, none, true, and, as, assert, async, await, and all stuff like that. Are you okay with it, all of you? All of you? Hello?
Yeah, yeah, Rajesh.
Okay. Today you guys are not asking question. Let's interact, guys. Okay. So uh, now we have understood this Python variables, and if you look at the list, this is also done. This is also done. Then types of variable, which is also done. Now we have operators. Okay. So this is something which is very important. Operators. So now let's discuss about the operators through the slides. So here you go to operators here. Okay, so in Python, which we have a lots of operator. Now what is the use of operator? So operators, you can say, is like you can play, you can do something with the variables to get the some other results. For example, two variables, you can add it, multiply it, or some extra things you can do, that like you can work with compare with two variable. Okay, you can so use that way you can use the operator. So here in Pythons we have a arithmetic operator, assignment operator, comparison operator, logical operators, identity operators, membership operators, and bitwise operators. So these are the operators which you have in Python. So look at these slides. It's a very good slide actually. And here you have the all the operators, which includes arithmetic, relational, and assignment operator. And you have use cases also. So if you see that in arithmetic operator, you have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, and power and exponentials. So these are the operators, and which will do what exactly has been written. So arithmetic operator mainly work with the integers, mind it, because this is all a mathematics work, so you require the integer for it. So here expression column, if you look at this, 2 plus 5, the results will be 7. And you see that 40. So I don't think so you'll find a difficulties to understand this. Relational operator, primarily you have a lesser than, greater than, lesser than, on, equal to, greater than, on, equal to, not equal to, all this thing. So when you want to compare two variable, this comparison always you do with a conditioning, like if this is equal to, then do this. If this not equal to, do this. If it's greater than or lesser than or greater than or not equal to, or whatever exactly you have, then do this. So relational operator mainly used for the conditioning purpose. So if you see that when you compare, you will have only two value. Okay, either it will be true or either it will be false. So if it is true, then do that. False, do else, something like that. Okay, assignment operator, which we have used it already. You might have checked that assignment operator where you assign the variable is equal to what value. So you have used it. But if you look at this assign, add and assign, that is where somewhere you have to look at it, because assign operator, you know that more or less you have seen it. But add and assign, which will add by that number. So if you, let's say number is a 2, okay, and here when you say number plus is equal to 2, that means it will add a 2 and then it will become a 4 in that case. Subtract also, subtract and assign, divide and assign. First you divide and then assign to this, and first you multiply and then assign to that to variable. So this is assignment operator. Look at it very carefully. So now how do we use it? So now in order to use it, let me help you with some tutorials in this place. Okay, so variables is done here, and go for operators. Okay, so now here let me close few things here. So operators in Python, just check it out this page. So these are the operators which we discussed. Arithmetic operators in Python, which we discussed just now. I need a just example for it. So I'll just copy this code in order to understand this arithmetic operator. Okay. So copy, and you see here all these arithmetic operators here. Print x plus y, x minus y. So here you are printing. All these are printing actually. You see that, and here. Now one more examples I'm having it here. You can play with this one also, second one. So let me first run the first one. Clear the screen. You see here the output. Now second one also I should run it, and here see that. So I think this all you understand very easily, not need to drag it and then so on. So are you comfortable, all of you? Okay, now let me run this some assignment operators. So if you see that here, so assignment operator, there's some problems here. So there's only one assignment operator here. In fact, no, many. So these are the arithmetic operators. So let me do one thing. There is some confusion for this. These are the arithmetic operators. So what you are doing in the assignment operator. Okay, I'll correct it a little bit later. So let me run this code and let me modify this. So in this example, if you see that this first 4 is not required. Now this is an assignment operator. So what it will return, look at this, and this assignment operator always return in true and false, mind it. Okay, so here is a variable and here you have assignment operators. This you look at it here. Here you require the truth table. Here x is this one statement, this is another statement, and truth table will apply it here. So anyone remember the truth table, all of you? All of you? Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So let's check it out. This clear the screen. See. So this is the way you can use it in the program. This is the way you can express in the program. Now comparison operator, I did it. Logical operators, let's try once. Logical operator. So here these are the logical operator, and this is the truth table. You see that here. If operand true, 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 false, 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 true, false, 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 true expression, and expression, false expression, false, like that. So here you have an and this is a or. So true, 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 false, true, all this stuff. And this is operand for the not. False, if you have, then it will become a true. True will become a false. So now let's try this as simple code. Here you have. And how do we use it? So see here, x is equal to true, y is equal to false. And here you are putting this logical operands, all this stuff, and run this. You have to practice all this thing to get comfortable,
and understand the logic of it. So now you understood the logical operands also. Membership operators, yeah, it's interesting. Let's look at this here. In membership, you have an in, okay, and not in. These are the like, so membership operator always works with the list actually. Okay, see here. So it required multiple elements. So where do you find a multiple elements? You find a multiple element in string, list, tuples, and dictionary. So if you see that the membership operator are useful to test a membership in a sequence such as string, list, tuples, and dictionary. So here in or not in. So two things. So here you can say, look at this here. This is the string, and here if you type 2, if you have a 2 in st1, and it will return true or false, whatever it is. So this you can do that. Not in also you can do that like that. So let me run only one, and here there is a problem here. This blindly if you copy paste, it will be a problem. So this is not a string, this is string. Okay, so mind it. And here this is the problem again. Okay, and like that. So this way you can run it and then get going. So this is also good. uh, okay, so now next one which we have after understanding the operators, you have conditioning and looping. So any questions so far, all of you? Any questions so far?
Hello.
Yeah.
So could you please show on Linux VM? Now you are showing on Windows, I think. So
So code is same. This code what I'm running, no, if you run the code in the Python also, it's the same, and Windows same also. The only one thing you have to note it down, like if you're using file operation here, file handling, that writing a file, reading a file, then in Unix path is different, Linux path is different. So that way you have to note it down. The program will run in Linux and Python both same, because platform independent, Java, Python, Perl, PHP, these are the platform independent. Okay, any other questions, guys?
If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.